What's up, guys? Welcome back to day 2 of Juicy June, which if you're not caught up and you're just now only watching this video, I decided to do, I should turn off this light, hold on. I decided to do a video every single day for the month of June. It's not just gonna be vlogs, which there are going to be vlogs involved, but it's not only gonna be vlogs. Like, we're gonna do kind of a combination of a couple different things. So today is day 2 and I'm actually going on a date night with Tyler, and I figured we could do a get ready with me hair, makeup, outfit while I chat with you about like how I started doing YouTube, social media, kind of like the whole, like the last like 10 years of my life. So that instead of just like sitting down and like telling you guys what products I'm using and you guys just watching me do my makeup, it can be like more like, I don't know, interesting, or maybe, I don't know. This is gonna be day 2 and I called it Juicy June, and I don't know why. I don't know where that name came from. I just said it once and that's it. That's what we're gonna call it. So my first video yesterday was a video of like all of the jewelry that I've purchased on Amazon and kind of like giving you like the backstory, the reason why I bought it, how it's held up, all that stuff. So if you wanna go back and catch up on that one, that one's just one video back. We're going to a restaurant called Cooper's Hawk. If you are in like the Central Florida area and you've never been there, it is such a good little like date night spot. They have their own winery, so it's really good. Their appetizers are good. I've never gone there and like disliked anything that I got, and we haven't been in a really, really long time. So I was like, why don't we do Cooper's Hawk? Because we wanted to do like an early dinner, and I'm not like super, super hungry. Like I'm definitely gonna be like having more like appetizers and maybe like a glass of wine or Prosecco or something like that. Like it's gonna be very like light because I'm not like super, super hungry. I have no idea what I'm wearing, like zero. I have no thought in my mind of an outfit, so we're actually going to put that together like from scratch. Let's get this makeup going. So a lot of you guys have been here since my first YouTube channel, and I started my YouTube channel while I was living in New York. I was 22 or 23. And I had always wanted to do it. I started watching YouTube when I was in high school, so this was 2006, 2007. This is like way back in the day when like I don't really think anybody knew anything about YouTube. Like people were just recording themselves, and that's when like the beauty gurus like Dulce Candy 87, like that's how far back. And I always watched it, but I didn't really get it. Like influencers weren't a thing, content creators weren't a thing, like it's just not what it was. And I remember I ended up starting a blog in, I was probably 21, right around there. I just wanted to showcase my outfits, and people weren't really posting on Instagram like that. Like everybody had a blog. So I started a blog, and my blog name was Till the Heels Fall Off, kind of like a play off of like Ride Till the Wheels Fall Off, but for me it was Ride Till like the Heels Fall Off. I loved it. I was obsessed with my blog name, and I would upload weekly, like on a weekly basis. I wasn't doing this like for money or anything like that. I truly didn't know, like the internet and like doing stuff like that was so new that like there was no information about like making money on it or anything like that. So I had my blog, and moving to New York I still had my blog. And not that my blog like was anything crazy, but people knew that I was a blogger. People knew that I was posting fashion content, beauty content. Like people knew that. Back then, like it wasn't like people were growing their social media by like crazy amounts or anything. So it wasn't like the way that it is now. Like it was nothing like that. Once I got to New York, I was working as a visual merchandising manager for a clothing and lifestyle brand. So I worked for that store in Orlando at the mall at Millennia. I opened the store. I was, you know, on the management team, and I did all the visuals. So I dressed the mannequins, I did the floor sets, I worked, like the way that the store looked, like that was me. Like I did all of that. And then they had an opening in the store in the Westchester Mall in White Plains, and the guy that I was seeing at the time lived in New York. So I was like, you know what, my manager asked me, he was like, do you want to try interviewing for the spot? And I was like, yeah. So I flew out to New York, I went to Westchester, I met with the store manager, and she ended up loving me. And by the time I got back to Orlando, my manager in Orlando was like, well, the boss loved you and they want to give you an offer. And I was like, cool. So like not even a month later, I left to New York. I was still blogging. I the guy that I was dating at the time was a photographer, so it was perfect because I was able to get all these cool pictures. And at that point I lived in New York City, so it was like, and I actually lived in the city. I lived in Harlem, so like I was in the city. My street was full of brownstones. Like it was like perfect for what I wanted. So you know, I just kept taking pictures. I took pictures with like some brands. I remember I got invited to Fashion Week. Like it was really, really cool, like really fun. And I had always just said like, you know what, one of these days I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. And again, the guy that I was dating at the time was a photographer. He knew how to work a lot of like programs, like iMovie, things like that. And so after like so many people had asked me, it all started with a blowout tutorial, like how to do a blow dry, which of course, still on brand to this day with my channel. So I made that video and I very, 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 very slowly grew. I don't remember what happened. I think that I forgot that I needed to create like a Google account to start getting paid through YouTube. And I think with YouTube, you don't start getting paid until you have a certain amount of subscribers or something. I cannot remember. This was, again, a really, really long time ago. And I ended up having to create a whole new YouTube account and kind of start from scratch because I didn't set up my original YouTube account properly to where I could start monetizing it. So fast forward to moving back to Orlando, my job, my company, the entire company ended up closing down, and my location in White Plains, we found out on December 24th. And so the day after Christmas was when we started closing the store. I was so heartbroken. I was so sad. I loved my job. I loved my coworkers. I loved where I worked. I loved the location. I loved that I was living in New York. I loved all of it. Like all of it was just like a dream. And by then I maybe had posted like maybe 10 YouTube videos, not much. I would post like what's in my bag. I remember I had a video back when like the Ebola breakout was happening and it was like going crazy in New York and like everybody had hand sanitizer on them. Oh my God, I can't believe it. So I was just like consistently uploading, and then once I had to start over, that's when I was like, okay, I actually want to like really do this. Like I was having a really good time. Got a job here because I was literally jobless after losing my job because the company closed down. And because we closed down during Christmas, nowhere was hiring. Like there were no jobs available, especially in like the retail space, because I was like, okay, maybe I can find a job in another luxury clothing retailer. Like that's what I loved. I loved doing merchandising. I had already had managerial experience. Like I was like, this is perfect. Like I can absolutely do this. But nowhere was hiring because it was the holidays and slow season was about to come because December, like January, February is like really, really slow in retail. So I tried waiting it out and I just couldn't anymore. Like bills didn't stop. And so I ended up leaving and coming back to Orlando. So once I moved back down here, I had an interview with a luxury watch company, which I think I've talked about briefly on like my channel before. I worked for a company called Breitling, and it's essentially like on the same level as like Rolex, Hublot, Omega, Cartier. Like I was selling $10,000, $20,000 watches to very, very, very wealthy people. So I was always, really always in the luxury retail space. That was like the highest that I had gone because that was like very, 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 very luxury. So I got the job doing that, and I was continuously still blogging. I was still YouTubing, and that was when I had met Brendolyn, which if you guys are unfamiliar, I do have a clothing brand, which we are actually closing down because, you know, it's run its course with everything that's just gone on with COVID. Like it's been so hard to keep sustaining a company without there like being a market. Like people aren't really like spending a lot of money on clothes, but we do have a patent pending product. So the patent is still ongoing, but we are closing down the retail, and that's a whole other story. But we are closing down the retail portion of it. So once everything sells out, we'll be, you know, shutting down the website. So if you guys want to shop anything, like I said, super side note, everything, the entire website is 70% off. It's always linked in my description. So that was kind of how I met my business partner, because she and I were not friends. I had just moved back from New York, and I was heavy still in my blogging. I got invited to Fashion Week at Millennia. I would go get invited to fashion shows. I got invited to just all different things in the brand, like the branding space. And this was while I was still working my full-time job. I remember she had asked me if she could give me like a dress and I could post it on my blog and then see if people buy it. And I did, and people sold it out. And that's when I was like, oh, this is how people start making money off of this. Like, companies, like brands, because Brendolyn was working by herself. She didn't pay me, but I'm like, this is how people do it. Like, you charge companies money to be an ad, basically. At that point, I still was not making any money, and my Instagram was still fairly small. I think I maybe had like 9,000 followers, which I had a completely different Instagram as well. Just kept doing that. I started working with Brendolyn while still, again, posting on my blog, posting on YouTube, and I ended up having my very first video go viral, and it was so stupid. Going viral on YouTube is not common at all anymore. Like, it just doesn't happen because people don't really watch YouTube as much anymore. But I had a video go viral about how I make my iced coffee at home, and it was quite literally me just making coffee in the greca, putting it in a cup, putting that cup in the fridge, and then a couple hours later pouring it over ice with milk and cream. And that video had like 3 million views or something, which that is how I saw that you could make money on YouTube, because the amount of money that that video made, I think it was like $300 at the time, was crazy. Like, that was so much money in my mind, because I was like, holy crap, I can't believe like you can make money off this stuff. Meet Tyler, and I kind of showed Tyler like, this is what I do. Like, I make these videos. I was working at Sephora by the time that he was like, you should really like try doing this. Like, I had still worked at the watch company and got recruited to go work at Sephora as a full-time color specialist is what it's called. I don't know if that's what it's called anymore, but you were called color specialist, like the people that work in the makeup area. So I got recruited, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I can do that instead. It kind of fits all the other things that I do with like beauty and content and all that stuff. And this is when YouTube makeup, like YouTubers, like this is when the Jaclyn Hill palette came out. This is when Anastasia Beverly Hills, Norvina palette, the Subculture palette. Like, I worked at Sephora at the perfect time because this was the era of YouTube. So I would take videos of my gratis, I would do makeup reviews, I would do wear tests. Every new foundation that came out I had access to because I was getting gratis and I worked for Sephora. So it was super easy to make content because I had firsthand, like, I was able to get the product so easily, and a lot of it I got for free because I was a full-time artist with the company. Let me grab my hair tool. I'm gonna like wave my hair. That was kind of how I got into like the beauty space, because although I went to cosmetology school and all that stuff, I had a lot of knowledge of like the hair aspect, but I didn't do a lot of the makeup until I got into Sephora, and I did that a lot. And that was right around the time that I met Tyler, and he bought me my first laptop, which is still the laptop that I have, you guys. I have a MacBook Air, like, it's so old. I think he got it for me the first Christmas actually that we were together. That was 2017, 16, something like that. And I still have that MacBook. That's still the Mac that I use to edit my videos, which is so funny. Yeah, my hair has a lot of like, this is all my natural hair. Brands started to slowly reach out, but I still was not making a lot of money on YouTube at all. Like, sometimes I wouldn't even hit the threshold of how much you need to make before they pay you. But I just kept going and going and going and going. And I took so many breaks. Like, the amount of breaks that I've taken with YouTube, which a lot of you guys have been here since the New York channel that I started back then, that I had to like essentially start over. A lot of you guys have been following me since then, and I cannot believe it, because y'all have been here for what, like 10 years at this point. Like, that's how long I've been doing YouTube, and it sucks because if I would have stayed consistent, who knows where my channel would have been. This, over the last like 2 years, this has been the most consistent that I've been, and it sucks because YouTube is kind of, not that it's on its way out, because I don't think that at all, but it's definitely like slowed down in comparison to how it was when I started, when like, that's when like Jaclyn Hill still had red hair, like back then. So I wish I wouldn't have stopped, because I know my channel would have been in a completely different place, but life happens. Like, so many things happened in between. I was working full-time, I was also doing makeup full-time, like freelancing. Like, I hardly had time to film, and yeah, so I've been doing that basically ever since. And I started a new Instagram and just really like was not focusing on doing social media at all. I just wanted to grow my business, my clothing brand, but I never stopped posting on social media. I don't think anybody really has stopped posting unless they just wanted nothing to do with the platforms anymore. And then fast forward to, yeah, basically 10 years later, here I am. That's kind of how I started doing YouTube and where everything has gone in a sense. I don't know what it is. Like, I cannot stay away from YouTube. I love it so much. I think that people have been able to create such amazing lives and start businesses, and there's just so much that people have been able to do with YouTube. And I think social media in general has just been such an amazing way for people to make income for themselves with sharing something that they love. I personally, and I'm not somebody that makes hundreds of thousands of dollars on social media, but I will never, ever, ever be able to understand the people that are mad about people making money off of social. It's extremely bizarre to me that people get people get mad about the fact that like people can make money on social media. And it's like, if it makes you so mad and you're like jealous of it, then start doing it yourself. Like, you know, anybody can open up an Amazon storefront. Like, you don't have to be a huge influencer to have an Amazon storefront. You just have to apply, and then you can start sharing links. Like, anybody can make extra money from social media, and I think it is such a blessing that anyone can do social media. You don't have to be, you don't have to come from rich families. You don't have to have an in into the industry. You just have to post, and you just have to create community, and you just have to become likable, or be likable, I guess. But the fact that you can make money off of your phone is insane. Do I think, I've said this before, do I think that social media creators, whether it's TikTokers, YouTubers, whatever, do I think that they're overpaid? It's like a double-edged sword. They're paid the amount that they're paid because of how much money they are potentially able to make a customer. So let's just say, for example, I do a partnership with Bedhead. That's where my thing is from. This is not sponsored. Let's just say they sponsored my video, and let's say they paid me $500 to make a YouTube video. Let's say they were paying me $500 to use this on my video, which again, they are not. They don't even know I freaking exist. And I was able to make them $3,000 because so many of you guys bought this. I am now making them money. So if they wanted to work with me again and again, and let's say my channel was growing and growing and growing, and let's just say I had 1 million subscribers, and they knew that I could potentially make them $50,000 off of me posting in one video, they're gonna obviously spend money to get me to bring the people that trust me to them. Like, I don't know. I've talked about it many times. I personally don't think that influencers should make more than doctors or people that are saving lives and things like that. I think that that's a little crazy. Do I think that they make the money because they produce the money? Yes. And unfortunately, capitalism and people buying things, that's not really ever going to go away. I know that there are people that can be really shady, and I know that that could be some reason why people are super against it and like don't like social media and stuff like that. People can get really shady and lie. But here's the crazy thing, is that you essentially control these people making money. So if you're following influencers that you think are bullshit, or you think that they're lying, why are you following them? Like, why are you subscribing to people that, sorry, I'm trying to, my cord is not very long. But yeah, like if I'm following anyone and at any point I'm like, oh, I don't know, they're seeming kind of disingenuine, I will unfollow them. Like, it's so simple. If you at any point think that I'm lying about a product, about using a product, first off, I feel like it's very easy to tell. If out of nowhere somebody has never used something and they're like, oh my God, this is my favorite, link in bio. Like, I feel like that's kind of obvious, but like, it's very easy to know. Like, it's very easy to know. I'll just use an example. I'll use myself as an example. I worked with Tymo multiple times, which is the hair tool brand. I had no idea who that brand was before they reached out to me, which sometimes that's just the way that it happens. Like, there are so many companies that exist out here, especially smaller companies that you've never even heard of. And sometimes you don't even know that they have a product that's as amazing as it is until they reach out to you and you're like, sure, let me try it out and let's see if I use it. Now, every single one of my tools, except for this actually, every single one of my hair tools, my blow dryer brush, my curling iron, my straightener, everything is from Tymo. And I haven't worked with them again. Like, it's just so good. And if I were to use those products in a video and then out of nowhere you guys saw me never using them again, and then out of nowhere you see me having a sponsorship, that would be something to be like, does she actually use these, or is she only using them when she's getting paid to? Like, that's a very easy way to know. But like, people getting mad when, like, let's say like Olipop decided to sponsor me. Y'all know I love Olipop. I have my Olipop pour of the day every single day. So if you're using something, and this, you can tie it to yourself. If you use something every single day, let's say it's your Dyson vacuum, and you've been posting about it, and then Dyson hits you up and they're like, hey, you use your Dyson vacuum so much, would you be down to like get paid for posting a video of yourself using it? You mean to tell me you're gonna say no? Using a product that you already use and then getting paid and recognized by the company? Like, the power just went on and came back on. That was weird. No, you're gonna do it. Like, who wouldn't do it? That'd be like getting sponsored from Amazon. You know how big of a company that is? How many influencers use Amazon? How many people in general use Amazon? And Amazon hits me up and they're like, hey, we wanna send you a gift card and pay you to make a video of all of your Amazon favorites. What, like, come on. Like, I feel like that'd just be like a no-brainer, but it's also like, you guys really, and I don't mean you guys, I just mean you guys like in general, you have to stop following people that you don't trust their word. Like, I feel like it's, maybe, I don't know, maybe people are easily fooled, but I feel like it's very easy to judge someone's character, judge if someone's a bullshitter. If you've bought products that are recommended by them and you're like, oh, this kind of sucks, I think she was lying. Like, that should tell you right there. Like, and that's not to say that every product is gonna work for everyone, because it's not. Like, not everything works the same for everybody. But like, you guys always tell me, and I'm gonna use myself as an example again, you guys tell me all the time that like, you buy so many of my recommendations and I never steer you wrong and blah, blah, blah. So it'd be like, okay, you guys trust me already because I put you guys onto things all the time that I'm not paid to talk about, because you know that I'm not a bullshitter. Like, you guys trust my character. You guys, again, you guys just know I'm not a bullshitter, because trusting the people that you follow is so important, because that is like, their word is their bond. Like, if you don't have your word, if people can't believe you, and if people think you're a bullshitter, especially in this industry, then you have nothing. You might as well just shut it down. Might as well just turn off your shit, because the trust of the people that follow you is the most important thing. It's more important than the money. It's more important than anything, because the second you lie or deceive the people, the community of people that gave you the platform, it's basically like over. That's why freaking what's her name, Jaclyn Hill, is still like battling people over her like failed launch or whatever it was, like her lipstick. People are still mad about it because she lied, or she lied, I don't know this woman, so I'm not gonna say she lied or she didn't, I don't know. But people are still mad about it because they felt like they were lied to. She can't live it down. Granted, she's still very successful, but closed down her business, like did all that stuff because people literally could not believe her anymore and people couldn't trust her. Karma comes around and around, and if you deceive people once, they will make sure something will happen. And if you stay true to yourself and you don't like bullshit people, it'll just always continue to flow back to you. Like, not to get all like spiritual or anything, but it's true. Like, if you're an honest person and you're doing this as a job and you're honest as you're doing it, no one can ever say anything about you. Maybe you don't get as many brand deals, maybe it takes you longer to grow, but being honest to the people that gave you the opportunity to create a career out of this, people will always trust you. Like, I have people that don't even comment on my videos most of the time, but if I talk about a video or a recommendation for a product, one of the top comments that I get is, oh my God, I trust all of your recommendations. Oh my God, I bought so many of your recommendations and you've never steered me wrong. Like, that right there is what you're supposed to follow. Like, follow the people that you know are gonna put you onto good shit. And if you spend your money on something, like, you guys also have to understand, like, every dollar that I make is just as valuable as someone else's dollar. Like, I still work hard for every single dollar that I get in, so I don't want to waste my money on shit either. And most of the time I'm spending my money on like my own money on stuff. It's rare. Like, yeah, I might get like random PR and I'll get sponsored videos, but a lot of things that I recommend to you guys, I spend my own money on. So it's like, I don't want to be lied to either. I buy things that I know are worth it and I know I'm gonna get my money out of. I'm switching over my earrings. I want to put my hoops on whenever I do this wavy hairstyle. By the way, that waver, like I said, this is not sponsored, you can get it on Amazon, is from Bedhead, I think. Pretty sure I just said that. And I love it. Whenever I like wear my hair, like naturally let it air dry, no product or nothing, my hair kind of dries a little bit like this. So I'll just take it, and without having to like really do my hair all over again, I'll just go and clamp all throughout. And it's a very pretty beachy mermaidy type of vibe. Oh my God, we have to leave in like 10 minutes. Okay, I gotta speed it up now. That's what I get for talking. Let's figure out an outfit, and it needs to be easy and fast. I think I might do my beloved black linen skirt because I wear it all the time anyway. This is like my favorite summer item. I know there's some similar ones on like Amazon and stuff, so I'll try to link something similar. But this specific one from H&M I don't think is available anymore. Okay, so I do have this shirt, but it's like, do I want to do black on black in this style? I'm not sure. Okay, I just threw on my black bungee cami. I'm gonna see if I can make this like a really cute two-piece set looking outfit without being, you know, a two-piece set. So I have the skirt. I don't have on the right underwear for this, but I'm also on my period, so like, do I even care? I don't think so. Let's see if we like a belt with this. I don't hate it, but I don't like love this belt particularly with it. I don't hate it though. Let's see if I untuck this, and oh, this I might like. Okay, yeah, I think I like this instead. It kind of looks like a one piece, like a dress, but it's obviously not. Make this a little tighter so that it actually stays. Yes. Oh, this is cute. I like this. Now for what shoes? I don't know if I should go in a flat, like in a sandal, or I could just do my, I do need to put some lipstick on though. So let's do a little lip. I need to put some oil in my hair as well, which I'm gonna grab in a second. I'm gonna do the NYX lip liner in Nude Truffle. This is a really good, very, very, very neutral brown. Like, it's not warm at all. So it's really good for lots of like different skin. Like, it's really close to my lip color, if you can even see it. And then I'm gonna go in with my NYX Butter Gloss, not Butter Gloss, NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in London. If you know, you know. I have been using this specific color for literally forever. It's one of my favorite nudes of all time. Then I'm gonna go in with the, I need another lip liner. I'm gonna go in with Brown from NYX, and this is a little bit darker. And I'm just getting like the main. Little outer edge area. I just put some oil in my hair to tame it down a little bit. Putting some lotion on so that I can put on my yummy body oil that I talked to you guys about in one of my other videos. The Amazon Basics body oil. This will have you glowing to the gods. Like, it's so good. I love it. Sorry?
You have to leave at what time?
Like 5.
So in 2 minutes?
Yes. So, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, and then I'm going to put on my vanilla oil. Duh. Which I'll leave this link down below as well, but I'm sure almost all of you guys have it at this point because I've been talking about it for literal years. Let Namat hit me up and be like, hey, we want to do a collab for the Vanilla Musk. Oh, sponsored, 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 sponsored. It's gonna be all over. Okay, and then I just got this little scent. This isn't like my signature for summer or anything. I wanted to buy it from this creator. It's from the brand Le Monde Gourmand. If you've seen these at like Urban Outfitters and like stuff like that. This is a scent called Angel Soiree, and it smells like what the color pink should smell like. It smells so good. It has like marshmallow, lychee. It has like a whole bunch of fruits, and then it has like vanilla really cute. Should I do this belt instead? Let's try it. This is a belt that I got from Amazon like a year ago. It's a lot daintier. Oh, that's cute too. Actually, I think I like this one more. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. I could do this bag that is from, yeah, this is cute. This is from Etsy. I think it's from like a seller in like Indonesia or something. So I'm gonna carry that with my lip products, my wallet, although I'm going with my man, so you know, you don't really need a wallet. Put some lip gloss on. You're good to go. So here is the, oh, it's such a mess over there. Here is the outfit. Cutesy, all black. Just don't mind the mess in front of me. There we go, all black. I'll link as much as I can down below for you guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed day 2 of Juicy June, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.